Hello, my name is Robert Williams. This presentation will discuss the Lakeforest site. In this presentation, we will discuss the executive summary, property location and site conditions, office market analysis, residential market analysis, retail market analysis, mixed use on site, and in conclusion, will provide a recommendation. The Lakeforest site is currently occupied with a major shopping center. There are 4 top-tier anchor retail spaces including Macy's, JCPenney's, Sears, and Lord & Taylor. Based on the area profiler, there's over 85 acres of relatively flat land. The area around the mall has about 5,700 parking spaces, including 2 small ponds near the south side of the property. The gross leasable area, which represents the amount of rentable floor space available, is just over 1 million square feet. In this presentation, we will break down the site potential for residential uses, office uses, retail uses, and a combination of mixed uses. The target area for residential will be evaluated based on the existing predicted household and population growth. The target area for office will be assessed based on current and predicted vacancy rates, population growth, and supply and demand in the biotech region. The target for retail focuses on accessibility, existing retail in the area, and future demand. And lastly, the target area for mixed use focuses on a mixture of retail, office, and residential on site. When evaluating the mixed use component, it is critical to determine which market sector creates the best synergy. The goal is to determine the site highest and best use for maximizing profitability and competitive advantage. Lakeforest Mall is located in Gaithersburg, Maryland, situated just northwest of the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Gaithersburg is one of the more diversified cities in the United States with an average household income of $121,000. The Lakeforest Mall is conveniently located off of Interstate 270. The mall is a significant shopping destination in the region, first opening in September 12, 1978. The Lakeforest recently sold at a foreclosure auction for a fraction of its former value. As with much older shopping centers in America, it will be imperative for Lakeforest Mall to maintain the competitive edge and keep retail sales high in order to survive. Currently, the shopping center is 75% leased, leaving 25% of the mall unleased. This 25% represents a significant amount of the net operating income. It is critical for the Lakeforest to possibly redevelop and attract new tenants and customers to the mall. The location of the Lakeforest Mall allows for an excellent opportunity to create a vibrant development, which will attract top retailers. The size of the existing lot and land, along with the location, will allow for the area to be revitalized, which is a plus for all in the greater Gaithersburg area. Now we're going to look into the office analysis in detail for the Lakeforest site. The Lakeforest site has many features that are beneficial to an office development, which includes its proximity to the I-270 corridor. The Gaithersburg area has a continuous increase in population. The size and location of this site is very impactful to what can be developed on the site. And this area is in a prime location known for its diversification and quality of living. After reviewing many reports and other statements relating to the site market, many key variables are impacting the status of the office market and its ability to absorb new and redevelop office spaces. Take a look at the map on the right-hand side, which shows a cluster of office parks along the 270 corridor. This is a very popular area for office parks, and it's also known as the biotech region. Based on the office market analysis for Gaithersburg County, which is Montgomery County, provided by the Partners for Economic Solutions, there is 71.5 million square feet of office spaces currently vacant in the DC region, and that DC region includes Maryland, Virginia, and DC, pretty much a 90-mile radius around Washington, D.C. And Montgomery County represents 15% of these vacancies with 11 million square feet of vacant office spaces. The vacancy rate in this area can range as low as 3 to 5%, which is normally seen in the newer developments, and as high as 18 to 19%, which is typically seen in the dated office complexes. Despite the variance in vacancy rates in the region, fortunately, the Gaithersburg and the Lakeforest site is located in a prime location, and when utilizing the site highest and best use, it will maximize profitability and provide a competitive edge for developers. In the area has experienced sluggish new leasing, but reducing leasing could be contributed to the percentage of dated buildings in the region. The overall net absorption has remained favorable for Montgomery County, accounting for 20% of the net absorption. Montgomery typically have rental rates around $29 per square foot, but in the newer complexes, the numbers per square foot or cost per square foot is much higher. Gaithersburg has seen the job market increase by 1.3% over the last year. Future job growth over the next 10 years is predicted to be 39%. So this is a major impact to the office sector. This type of growth is going to allow for more office development in this area. It's also going to allow for dated office complex in the area to redevelop or reposition. After reviewing and analyzing the data provided for the Lakeforest Mall site, the market as a whole is stable but is spotty. It is imperative to note that the site is not located near a metro center, but this site can provide a tremendous opportunity when the site is developed for its highest and best use. After reviewing the residential market analysis for Gaithersburg market, the Gaithersburg market is overall stable with steady population growth, especially in the millennial age group demographics. The demographics profile for the market indicates that the population in the household has increased in the past 10 years. The overall median age is 35 years old, and for every 100 females, there are 95.6 males. The demographics around the subject site area comprise of majority millennials. Unemployment rate in this area is also stable and has been low at 3.4% and have decreased dramatically over the last 10 years. Gaithersburg is the third largest city in the state of Maryland with a population just over 68,000 per the latest census estimates. Per the chart shown on the right-hand side, courtesy of Population US, you can see that there has been a significant spike in the population for Gaithersburg over the last 20 years. The average household size is 2.7 with over 25,000 households in the city and low vacancy rates at 1.5% average for single-family homes. The average price range for a home is $380,000. So the average mortgage is anywhere from $2,000 to $2,500 per month, and that's based on a 30-year mortgage. And rents in the area are $1,800 on the low end and up to $2,500 to $3,000 on the high end, depending on the number of bathrooms and the number of bedrooms and the square footage for the property. Vacancy rates are slightly higher in the apartment market, but these vacancy rates are within reasonable range. The vacancy rates for the primary designated market is stable and profitable. The market is predicted to increase in population and in demand for housing over the next 5 years. 1,000 to 1,500 new units will need to be added to the Gaithersburg market in order to meet demand. Many developers in the area have consisted of mixed-use residential development with retail spaces underneath. These properties have quickly stabilized, normally stabilizing sometimes within a year. As stated, Gaithersburg, Maryland is a preferred city in the region known for its diversification and proximity to the nation's capital. As demand and population in the region continues to increase, so will the need for new units. The market will quickly absorb new units, and the need for new units will be fueled by good economy and low unemployment rates, which is what we currently have. In the target area, there are many existing neighborhoods around the Lakeforest site. The development of single-family housing is also healthy in the region. Factors supporting development of the single-family housing and townhouses include the school district, which is good, closeness to retail, and the distance to the nation's capital. The market for residential development is supported by much new housing and apartments over the past years. The target area has seen a spike in new housing. The economy is fueled with a steady job growth and increase in housing prices. Utilizing the Lakeforest site for residential is a much feasible option, but it may not be the highest and best for the site. The current state of the market shows steady growth in the residential market, but 2020 and beyond may be met with a slowdown in the market as supply overpowers demand. Given that the target area will continue to grow, it is safe to predict that demand in 2025 will rebound and new residential development will continue. All right, so now let's dive into the retail analysis for this site. The Lakeforest site may be a prime location for new retail development, but it's critical to analyze the market demographics, number of households, and employees in the target area. There are many options for the site, including revamping the Lakeforest site to accommodate pedestrian-friendly retail clusters with a combination of retail and office spacing. It's imperative to determine the number of retail sales currently generated by residents in the PTA and the amount of retail the market can support. The median household income in the region is just over $83,000, and the community is very diversified, with housing values slightly higher than other areas in the region. 47% of the population has a bachelor's degree or higher, making this a tremendous opportunity to develop the Lakeforest site for retail. The projected household in the area is just over 51,000. Employees in the area is just over 78,000, and the area of visitors is just over 1 million. The retail in the area consists of three major retail categories, which includes NB&S, F&B, and GAFO. More than half of the current retailers in the Lakeforest site and Gettysburg markets are the GAFO retailers. Many shopping centers in the region contain a combination of GAFO and NG&S retailers. When evaluating the number of households and employees in the market area, the retail demand will be a determining factor calculating based on demographics and other factors. There will be more factors to evaluate, including competitiveness, drive time, geographic boundaries, and shopping patterns. These are all critical aspects of measuring and determining the retail potential regarding supportable retail square footage per each category. When determining demand within the primary trade area for the Lakeforest site, the capture rate will play a significant role in determining supportable square footage. It is important that the capture rate is feasible and conservative. Capture rates will vary depending upon the category along with primary and second trade areas. As stated, when evaluating the site for retail and the amount of new supportable square footage, it's critical that the capture rate is conservative. The standard capture rate for F and B, NG&S, and GAFO will be reduced based on existing development and competition. As you can see on the map on the right-hand side, there are many retail development strips in this area already. The capture rate for F and B has been cut from an average of 28% to 20% to account for existing development in the area, including nearby Sam's Club and Costco. The capture rate for NG&S has been reduced from 40% to 25 to 27% to account for current development in the region. GAFO has been cut from an average of 10% to 8% to account for two major GAFO developments in the area. The capture rate will be slightly higher for NG&S it will be slightly higher for NG&S categories and will reduce for F&B and GAFO categories. The data is used to determine the supportable square footage for the retail space using the formula shown below, where you take the total aggregate sales within each retail category and multiply it by the conservative capture rate and divided by the sales per square foot expected for each retail category. And this gives you your total amount of supportable retail space. To conclude, based on the data provided for the current market, we see that the retail sector is a little saturated with older developments. Many tenants are looking to tailor to millennials who prefer a pedestrian-friendly environment with newer technology. So that's going to be key, is making sure that you tailor to the millennials, who represents a major sector in the demographics for the Gettysburg market. Future markets 2020 to 2025 predicts the expand in the number of households and employees. This increasing demand will fuel development opportunities for future retail. The Lakeforest site will present an opportunity to reposition the site into a pedestrian-friendly retail location with a mixture of all three categories: N, B, and S, F and B, and GAFO. Mixed use. Mixed use projects have become very popular around the nation, but it's imperative to evaluate the population, the average household income, the traffic counts, and location incentives. The Lakeforest site has a steady population growth and an above average income, and the site is located in an extremely convenient location with access to the I-270 corridor with increased traffic counts. There are many options for the site, including mixed-use office and retail, mixed-use residential and retail, mixed-use residential and office. Many new mixed-use developments, both office and residential retail, have had relatively lower vacancy rates when compared to the existing and dated developments in the region. Many dated developments will need to reposition so that the market can reach equilibrium. When evaluating the site for its mixed-use potential, it's critical to evaluate the site's residential, office, and retail potential. Mixed-use developments can be complicated, risky, and costly, but when properly designed and analyzed, the potential profits and dividends can be maximized. Mixed-use development has perks along with excellent benefits, including spreading the risks around different markets and diversifying developments to create synergy. It's not advised to utilize this site for a standalone residential, office, or retail, but it is preferred to use this site for a mixed-use development. To conclude, given that the site is located in the biotech region, the site could be utilized for mixed-use office space. Tailored to the biotech industry, along with top retail, will provide a pedestrian-friendly environment. The local government plays a significant role in the process, offering many local government incentives. It's critical to remember that the millennials often seek to live, work, and play in close proximity. Although the area is currently saturated with office spaces and vacancy rates are higher than normal, many of the existing office spaces are dated and need to be repositioned. Utilizing the site for a mixed-use office would tailor to the millennials, thus attracting top talent and top employers. Residential mixed use is also an option, but it's imperative to remember the number of existing neighborhoods around the current site. The site will be large enough to accommodate a mixture of residential, office, and retail. Based on the analysis provided and after analyzing all options, it is recommended to use the site for a mixture of mixed-use multifamily, office tailored to the biotech sector, and retail. This will maximize the site potential to attract millennials and top tenants, allowing for the development to absorb quickly and maintain reduced vacancy rates. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this presentation on the Lakeforest site. It will be interesting to see the future for this site and the positive impacts that it will have on revitalizing the Gettysburg market. Thank you.